We did it. Do. Oh. Oh, shit. What the hell's happened to him? Oh, Sarah. Oh, the mum.
A bicorn decorated with a cockade. It must belong to a French...
We identified the right one, I think.
Good God! They're all here. They must have heard the gunshot.
Where is Lord Mortimer?
Can anyone hear anything through the door?
Did you hear that? I was not dreaming, was I?
Certainly not, Duke Godoy.
What's going on?
Someone had the bang coming from the Duchess's room. She isn't answering.
Gentlemen, go back to your rooms. Go back to your rooms. I shall find out from Lord Mortimer what this is all about. Thank you.
I mean, have we gone away with it? I don't know. We ain't going back to the rooms, boys. We're going to the garden. The garden. I think it's this way. Do you know what, this house is so fucking big. I should use the map more. Dining hall, library, portrait gallery, forecourt. Can I get to there for the forecourt? I don't know. Probably not.
Lord Mortimer certainly has a taste for staging rooms.
That'll be this way then. It's by the library, if I remember rightly. The guard. Do you know, I can't even remember. I need to pick up some more of those things, like to boost my abilities back up. Conference room. So stairs. That's going upstairs. The garden's downstairs. Aha. That was pure luck, but bloody maze. Cool. I want to know if I did get the right. Hey, we found you.
Louis! At last,
We
there
found
you
ya.
are.
Mother,
Oh,
wait,
yeah.
Come, we have to be quick.
No,
what's-
wait, Mother,
Time is running
What's
out,
going on?
Louis. First, we must...
No! That's enough. I won't go a step further unless you explain to me what is going on here. I'm begging you. Talk to me.
You must trust me, my son. You are not ready yet.
You're the one who should trust me. Tell me what's happening.
You would never believe me.
I came all the way here for you. Now I've found you. I'm ready, Mother.
If only... Louis, I have always taught you to keep your mind open and rational. I know you are going to find this hard to believe, but what I am going to reveal to you is entirely true.
Alright.
Many years ago, I found out that demons really do live among us,
I beg your pardon?
and that they can influence our thoughts.
Let me
Mother,
guess. Mortimer's
Listen
a
to
demon.
yourself. I know you're exhausted, but for crying out loud, listen to what you're saying. Demons? What next? An ancient monster with a head like an octopus? What do your demons look like?
Kraken.
Have they got horns and a pointed
Nah, it's
tail?
Mortimer.
No, these are not creatures with billy goat's legs. Forget your Christian folklore. Imagine them more as parasitic spirits. They possess their hosts and direct them from
Mortimer.
inside.
Parasitic spirits?
Yes, they are capable of going from one body to another as they see fit. and 2 of them are present on this island.
Mortimer and Sir Gregory.
So let me guess. Lord Mortimer and Sir Gregory, right?
You felt it too?
No, even if Home does look the part. But I don't know who else could do it, given that we're on their territory.
Many years ago, well before you were born, I crossed paths with one of them. Since then, I've spent my life
And that's why they want the
trying
books to
find it
kill the
again.
demons.
When we recovered the Alizif,
Yeah, that.
I was persuaded that von Burchard was working for this demon in one way or another. But I thought he would hand the book to a middleman during this conference. That's where I made an error that could well turn out to be fatal. The one who Burchard was meant to give the book to was none other than the demon in person, Mortimer. Not to mention that Home had sent Volner to get it for him.
Home and Mortimer are demons?
They both seem to disagree about many things, but I'll admit I never knew exactly why. There are many of them, Louis, not just those 2.
Mother, have you any proof to support any of this?
Of course, but you do too. You had everything laid out in front of you. Didn't you notice anything?
I went beyond the nightmare, Mother.
You understood the Masonic date.
1191.
Of course! It was during that siege that the demon took possession of Sir Mortimer. They spent a whole night in conversation until the early hours of the morning. Mortimer had passed the test.
This is
He had
crazy.
charmed the demon, and so it chose him to be its host for centuries to come.
Indeed.
But tell me, did you find his secret study?
I did indeed.
Did you see his maps of the world?
He has contacts the world over.
Yes, I've been developing the Golden Order across the world for many years, and I've never seen anyone with such influence. It's simply inhuman.
I must admit, I found it difficult to understand how and why Mortimer didn't have a place in history.
On the continent, Mortimer and Home are mere dandies who organize society balls.
Yeah.
History forgets them with a disconcerting
Interesting.
facility.
They're demons.
No one speaks about them, and yet they whisper in the ears of kings and presidents.
That's true.
You mean the conference?
How can you explain that someone manages to bring together so many important figures without anyone knowing?
True.
And without any security or personnel. Well, those property deeds across the world, all signed by the same hand and over several centuries.
I am proud of you, Louis.
Boom.
I found your notes written in lemon juice.
But I ruined.
Where all eyes size you up.
But I ruined them.
At one stage, I was so afraid of losing my mind that I noted everything down. Congratulations, Louis. Wait, please tell me you didn't open Pandora's box.
The urn? No, I didn't. Why?
Good. We'll deal with it
Wait, what?
later.
What urn? I don't even remember that.
Louis, I am proud of you.
You should be.
You came all this way. You found me. You have surpassed me.
What can I say? I'm
You
your
taught me
regular
everything I know.
Shavadu.
Right. How did it all begin?
I saw him.
In demon
What
form.
do you mean you saw him?
I was 20 years old. I was young and carefree. I traveled the world in search of adventure. In the Persian Gulf, we came across an ancient grimoire that
This is
became
cool.
unlocked. Composed of 7 parts, each one was a book in itself, set in a sort of metal armor that structured the whole thing. When all the volumes were brought together, they formed a single book. On my return to Paris, I set to studying these pages. I spent all my days and nights studying them.
Oh, I can imagine you doing that.
But the writing was in a language I had never seen before, developed well before Sumerian, in my opinion. So I got the idea to form a small occult circle composed of all the major names in the occult world to see if anyone else could crack it.
And you found no one.
And I found someone, Louis. I found him, or rather, he found me. He was young, charismatic, he was flamboyant.
You mean Mortimer?
He was a veritable mine of knowledge. I showed him the book. and he was able to decipher a few passages. We spent several months together studying the pages. He helped me understand certain passages until I realized that he only translated a few parts for me. But I had aroused his interest. It was too late.
How so?
I mean to say he manipulated me. He used me, and in the end, he stole the book with all its secrets.
Did he ever go to your place?
Not once. At least I don't think so. But before disappearing, he proposed a pact between us. He proposed that I follow him and let him teach me, allow him to bring me up.
And you accepted?
Please don't be stupid. You don't make deals with the devil.
True.
After that, I spent my whole life looking for him. 3 years later, in Berlin, I just missed him. In London, I lost 6 members of the Order in a chase. In 1741, in Tunisia, I found a sect of fanatics who had crossed paths with him once. 1741, in Poland. 1749, in India.
8 years ago in Venice.
We agreed never to speak about what happened in Venice, Louis.
I'm gonna insist.
You agreed, and that was before you spoke to me about demons. Wait, the baby we delivered, you and me, that night in Venice, did he have anything to do with Lord Mortimer?
The child was his son.
Whoa.
We stole his son? Are you insane? I always thought we took him to save him.
That was the case. It was precisely to save him from his father.
Kicking
Need I
off.
remind you the mother died during childbirth? What became of the child?
Later. For the moment, that is not the key issue here.
It's gonna get-
Once
shit
we
is gonna
found
kick
the
off.
Al-Azif in Paris, I followed von Borchart's trail here. I didn't think it would lead me straight to the demon. It was careless of me. He toyed with me for a few days, until I caught on, until I saw him as he was. But he had no intention of letting me leave. We are all his pawns, Louis, and if we don't want to spend the rest of our lives turning round in circles here, we must absolutely get off this island.
True.
All right, can we move on?
Wait a minute, one last thing.
And I think that's why Mortimer's been like, oh, pally with me, trying to get me on his side, because he knows Sarah's out of the picture, or was at the time, so he wanted to manipulate me to be on his side. But I was like, nah, mate, do one. Wow, I sided with the other demon, but still.
I want to know what happened with Elizabeth Adams.
Louis, we haven't time for those details.
I'm sorry, Mother, but I want to know.
She was one of the receptacles for these monsters. I met her parents when she was born. One of the demons got inside her. The demon used her to spy on her father, John Adams. He is one of the founding fathers and vice president of the United States, you know.
Mortimer possessed her?
No, I don't think it was Mortimer. Her father, John Adams, hired me to tend to her, but the evil in her was too deep. In spite of the various treatments I tried on her, I never succeeded in getting it out of her. It's not something I'm proud of, Louis, but I had to try everything.
Fair enough.
Do you know who killed her?
Absolutely not.
I want to know what happened between you and Emily's sister.
Great responsibility often brings difficult choices, Louis. That's all you need to know.
All right.
I need my
but you're
points.
not getting away with it so lightly. Once we get back to Paris, be sure I won't be letting it go.
We'll see in Paris then.
On the evening of my arrival, Cardinal Piaggi came looking for you. He was determined to give you a letter.
More of his lists. Louis, I think I know what's in that letter, and I beseech you to believe that it is the least of our worries. We can sort that out later.
Alright, that's fair.
Are you going to tell me what happened to your hand?
Better than that, I shall show you.
Alright.
Samuel Ritter du Choix. You wanted to send me a letter about Godoy.
I wanted you to run a check on Duke Manuel. But frankly, it doesn't really matter anymore now. Godoy is just a pawn like the others. He is not the one I was looking for.
Alright, let's
Good.
go.
I think that's about right. We shall speak about it once we get back to France.
Great actions for humanity have been decided by demons for centuries, Louis. They are playing with our destiny. We are their slaves. And it's time for it to stop.
Yeah.
By the way, what was Mortimer's project at this conference?
He demands that the Spanish hand over Louisiana to France.
Oh, knowing him, it won't stop there. We should do our utmost to put a stop to Mortimer's plans. But for the time being, there are more pressing matters.
Yes.
Are you going to tell me why we're here?
Cool.
There. That's why we are here.
Groovy little music. Have I got to figure this puzzle out? Ah, I need one of those shards. It would seem. I could have been a witness of Napoleon Bonaparte's resolution. I could have spoken with Piaggi about his motivations. I could have learned something from Al-Hazif. I didn't try to understand what had happened to Peru when I saw him in his room. I went to the castle alone. I protected one of the hill. It doesn't even tell me which one I protected. Of course it doesn't. Fuck's sake. Let's go, boys.
Reassure me, we aren't going to have to force that one, are we?
I don't think we're even capable of doing it. You're going to have to find a way to open it.
Why, of course. And what's inside?
Something to vanquish them with?
Perfect. So, how does it open?
We'll need several keys. I found a note
Okie
from the
dokie.
architect who conceived the mechanism in Mortimer's secret study. We have to first gather 5 objects before we try anything.
Are the 5 objects the keys?
Exactly. We have the Clement III cross, the nails, the Gutenberg Bible, the exegesis of Judas, an armillary sphere, and all we need to match up the dates between the different calendars.
Fuck yeah, alright.
Why a cross?
Well, I haven't the foggiest idea, but it just
This
so
is gonna be
happens
hard work.
That's what you are going to use to activate the mechanism. I found the one Mortimer kept. It belonged to Cardinal Guibert, better known by the name of Pope Clement III.
Perfect. Where is it?
Unfortunately, I've lost it.
Of
When I
course.
lost my hand, I went dashing out, and it must have fallen from my pocket.
Remember, Mother. I'm certain you can remember.
Let me think.
You were running.
I was bleeding to death.
You remember the pain.
I thought I was going to faint. Yes, I remember. I don't think it can be far, can it?
Would you have lost it outside?
No, I don't think so. It must be in the area. I don't remember going up with it.
Perfect.
I'll search the crypt before leaving.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Why a cross?
Well, I haven't the foggiest
Fuck.
idea.
I've
But
already
it
asked
just so
this.
happens that's what you are going to use to activate the mechanism. I found the one Mortimer kept. It belonged to Cardinal Guibert, better known by the name
Guibert.
of Pope Clement III.
Yes. Yes.
Perfect. Where is it?
Oh, God, I have to listen to this.
Unfortunately, I've lost it. When I lost my hand, I went dashing out, and it must have fallen from my pocket.
Yep.
Well, otherwise I can always go and see Piaggi. He's a cardinal after all.
Alright.
One last thing before you go. Be very careful. If you come across anyone,
I will.
they can all potentially be spies of Mortimer or Holm. Don't ever confide in anyone because a demon can slip inside them at any moment.
Wait, not all of them, though. Take Washington.
Especially Washington. He's been conditioned by Mortimer for years. Look at them, for crying out loud.
Yeah, that's
How
true.
do you explain their behavior
No,
otherwise?
I agree.
The most influential politicians in the Western world gather together without the least protection, without a single aid to assist them, to participate in a conference during which the guests start dropping like flies.
True.
Me, Adams, Peru, Hillsborough. Look at the number of calamities that have happened over the past few days.
True.
And not one of them has asked to leave the island? Do you find that normal?
You'll see.
That's
Go
true.
up to the manor to look for the keys, and I wager not one of them will speak to you about my being in Emily's room.
Do you think so?
Go on, you'll see. And come back with all the objects in one go. Time is against us.
And remember, the code to get out of the secret office is 6466.
I'm writing that down. I don't care what any of you say. I'm writing that down. Bada bing, bada fucking boom, boys. Because I'll forget. Gotta find all that shit.